How's it going, everybody, and welcome to episode 11 of Schmoedown Central. Huge week in the Schmoedown. Of course, Tuesday we had Team Trek taking on World's Finest, but Friday we had the moment we've all been waiting for, the free-for-all. 48 competitors go in, one competitor comes out on top. We'll get into that in just a sec, but let's start with the team match on Tuesday. So on Tuesday, we did have World's Finest and Team Trek going head-to-head. World's Finest coming in with the 1-0 record with the one knockout, ranked number 10. As for Team Trek, coming in with a record of 4-3, 2 knockouts, ranked number 5, looking to get back in that win column after a couple losses. Round 1 saw all 4 competitors give strong showings. Jason and Scott both going 6 for 8 for Team Trek. Eric also going 6 for 8, and Winston going 4 for 8. There was, though, 2 repeats used by Team Trek in round number 1. Not something you want to do when you only have 3 of them for the entire game. This all led to a 12-10 Trek lead heading into round number 2. And in round 2, Trek was up first, spinning Oscar movies. They go 4 for 6, gets a possible 7 out of 12 points, but there was a big 2-point steal on the first question, not able to come up with the alien's answer. And they also rushed question number 5, a kind of a key moment you don't really want to do, especially if you know the answer. Take the time to get it right. World's Finest was up next, and they end up spinning romantic comedies. They go actually 5 for 6 in this round, get a possible 9 out of 12 points. A very impressive round for the romantic comedy category, and they did only miss the one question. Turning the tables around, World's Finest leads 21-19 heading into round number 3. And in round 3, Scott was up first with the classics category for Team Trek, and he gets that one correct. World's Finest up, Winston looking to get ahead again with the Will Smith category, and he gets that one correct with a big pull on that question. Jason was up for Trek's second question, and they get 1990s movies, and he gets that one correct. Of course, Winston challenging it, but the challenge was upheld. World's Finest then looking to again put the pressure back on Team Trek. Eric was up with the action adventure category, couldn't come up with the correct answer there, but they came together for their third question in the category of 2000s and sent it back to Team Trek. Team Trek had to hit their final 5-point question in Oscar movies. They could not do so, so World's Finest ends up upsetting Team Trek by a score of 28-24. So World's Finest improves their record to 2-0 with the one knockout. Team Trek unfortunately dropping to 4-4 with still the 2 knockouts. World's Finest gets 17 out of 25 questions that their team was personally asked correct for 68%. As for Team Trek, end up losing this one, but get 18 out of 25 questions correct for 72%. Big steals coming into play here and also missing 5-pointers, and World's Finest hitting their 5-pointer were the difference maker to make that happen. As for individually, Eric went 6 for 9 for 67%. As for Winston, going 5 for 9 for 56%. As for Team Trek, both of them go 7 for 9 for 78% each. Again, they had the higher individual ones, just the steals in round number 2, and again that 5-point question were the big swings in this match. Lots of post-game activities happening after the match, and of course World's Finest, they want any team that they can get. They want all the big dogs. They want to go up against the Above Line. They want the Patriots. We'll have to see what happens next with them, but again, they're calling out pretty much everybody in the team division. As for Team Trek, well, Ben Bateman interrupting that post-game interview, and of course he wanted Jason Inman, but Scott Mance coming in to defend Inman, and Scott Mance ends up challenging Ben Bateman, so we'll have to see what happens with that going forward. Should be an exciting match to say the least. As for Jason Inman, well, he gets confronted by Mark Donica, and they're going to go head-to-head, of course, for the Inner Geekdom belt. That'll be an exciting match, and one that Inman is not backing down from, and he thinks he can do it pretty handedly. And of course, before the match, we had Drew McWeeny talking to Thad Williams and saying that, well, I wanted the winner of Roca versus JT. Why is that not happening? So we'll have to see what happens there with Drew McWeeny. And then, of course, post-game, we had the confrontation between Roca and Jeff Snyder. Again, we'll have to see if that goes forward. It looks like it will. And Roca really wants to take out all of the Lions Den, so we'll have to see if he can do so against Jeff Snyder. Again, lots happening in this match via post-game and pre-game. So we'll have to see how all this plays out moving forward. But of course, the moment we've all been waiting for, the free-for-all happened on Friday, so let's break that one down. On Friday, we had the free-for-all, our main event of the week. 48 competitors going into one coming out alive. To start things off, we had Sean Gerber coming in draw number 1. Tom Dagnino comes in at number 2. Frank Moran at number 3. Lon Harris coming in the 4th spot. And Robert Montano coming in at number 5. Our first round saw some solid rounds, but some big misses from Robert end up making him the first one eliminated in the first round. And coming in at the 6th spot was Ken Knapsack. And then this round, Ken hit a big play on the Barry Levinson question, and of course that propelled him to defeat his fellow Lions Den member Tom Dagnito, unfortunately him getting eliminated next. In round number 3 though, that saw April Dawn come in, make her debut in the Schmoedown at number 7, and again she just couldn't quite come up with some of the answers, unfortunately not getting any one of those questions correct, and Sean Gerber stays alive narrowly with the 1 point. Round 4 saw Coy Jandrew come in at number 8. Of course, there were a couple big misses on the first question, Frank and Lon both missing the Paul Rudd one, and then a huge question 5 with the Anchorman Dog question. But of course, Coy ended up being the one eliminated. Again, it seemed like that seat was cursed early on, and continuing with that curse, Taylor Robinson had to sit in that seat at the number 9 spot, and again just couldn't come up with the correct answers. Lon of Harris, of course, is the first competitor in this game to hit a perfect round. He gets 5 of them correct, and also taken out with Taylor was Ken Knapsack, and again, unfortunate for those 2 competitors. Round 6, we saw the debut of Whitney Seibold in the free-for-all, coming in at number 10, and also coming in at number 11, Eric Zipper. There was a big miss on the second question in the Born Supremacy for a couple of them, but it didn't matter, and Sean Gerber ended up being the one eliminated in this round. Unfortunate for him after having such a solid first couple of rounds, lasting to round number 6 after being in there at the number 1 spot. Round 7 saw the Godfather Drew McWeeny make his entrance into the free-for-all, and he was able to task one of our most competitive rounds in the game so far. Frank Moran and Lon Harris each hitting perfect rounds, and that meant Eric Zipper with a score of 3 getting eliminated. Round number 8 saw the entrance of the MVP of last year, John Humphrey, coming in at number 13. There were a couple big plays here. Drew McWeeny getting the Andy Serkis answer, really shocked himself in that one, but it ended up being Frank Moran and John Humphrey being eliminated. John Humphrey couldn't quite live up to his last year's ranking, and unfortunate for Frank Moran, he lasted quite a bit at 8 rounds. Round 9 saw Dennis Zen make his entrance into the free-for-all, coming in at number 14, and along with him came Sam Levine at number 15. This is a very close and competitive round, and unfortunately by Dennis missing his last question there, it ended up saving quite a bit of people, because it could have been a few of them being knocked out in the process, like Drew McWeeny and Sam Levine. Whitney and Lon Harris both hitting the perfect round as well in this round. Jay Washington came in at the number 16 spot, and Sam and Lon getting a big pull out of the first question with the Harry Hart Kingsman answer on the first question there, and also led to a Sam Levine perfect round, showing why he is the champ. And unfortunately, Jay Washington being eliminated with only getting a score of 2 in that round. Coming in at number 17 was Stacey Howard in round number 11, and this one went the distance, going 6 questions deep in this round, all of them tied up, and ended up getting our first big eliminations after the Pixar question was asked. Stacey Howard and Drew McWeeny get that one correct, and thus eliminating Whitney Seibold, Lon Harris, and Sam Levine, our first 3-person elimination of the game. Round 12 saw the free-for-all debut of JTE coming in after missing last year's competition. Also Meredith Berg coming in at number 19, and the Beast coming in at number 20. A lot of debuts here, and Drew McWeeny able to hit the perfect round, and Meredith Berg couldn't quite come together to get a couple questions correct. She got 1, but it wasn't enough to stay alive, and she was eliminated. Round 13 saw Matt Atchity come into this game, and he was able to stay alive and stave off elimination with Drew McWeeny and William Bibiani, and JT and Stacey Howard were eliminated in this round. Round 14 saw the debut of Haley Fouch coming in from the Collider.com side of things, and she had a very impressive round, and she was joined by, at number 23, Mark Andreyko, of course, coming in sitting at the exact same spot where he made the massive elimination in the first free-for-all. Unfortunately, Haley missed her third question, thus eliminating her. A very tough round. She got eliminated with Matt Atchity, and 3 perfect rounds from Drew McWeeny, Mark Andreyko, and Bibiani ended up eliminating both Haley and Matt, who both scored 4 points. This is one of those tough breaks, and it shows that Haley, again making her debut here, is very knowledgeable, just had some bad luck in this round going up against some strong competitors. At 24, we had Naveed McElhargy making his debut in the free-for-all, along with Johnny LaQuasto at 25. Bibiani unfortunately getting a little tough break on the first question, missing It's Showtime and only putting Showtime for the answer, but it didn't matter in the end as Naveed was eliminated. Round 16 saw the entrance of Rachel the Crusher Cushing coming in, one of the favorites in the free-for-all, and she ends up getting a perfect round in this round. Mark and Draco also getting the perfect round. Drew and Bibiani unfortunately missing that first question of the Jaws here, but it didn't matter again because Johnny LaQuasto was eliminated with only 1 point. Round 17 saw my favorite entrance of the whole event, Mark Ellis coming in right off the plane. Love seeing that hilarious moment, coming in at the number 27 spot. And this was a big pivotal round as Bibiani and Draco hit perfect rounds, and Ellis with the 4 points ends up eliminating both Drew McWeeny and Rachel Cushing. Drew McWeeny lasting 11 rounds. A big accomplishment for McWeeny, and unfortunate for Rachel Cushing, again only able to last that one round. Just a very competitive lineup at the table at this moment. But potentially one of the biggest rounds was round number 18. This saw Mike Kalinowski come in at number 28 and Ethan Irwin make his free-for-all debut at number 29. One miss each from Kalinowski and Drago and Ellis was enough to eliminate them, each getting 4 points, because Ethan Irwin and Bibiani both hit 5 points, getting those perfect rounds and eliminating 3 people, one of the biggest rounds of the evening. Round 19, we saw Adam Lavick make his entrance into the free-for-all, along with at number 31, Ben Bateman, and at number 32, Elliot Dewberry. Dewberry couldn't come up with a couple of the questions and was eliminated with a score of only 2 points. Round number 20, John Roca made his entrance into the free-for-all, coming in at number 33, and a perfect round from Ethan Irwin propelled him, Ben Bateman, Roca, and Bibiani to eliminate Adam Lavick, who only ended up getting the 1 point. Kind of one of the more lopsided type of rounds, as there was a 2-point gap between Roca and Lavick. In round number 21, Robert Meyer Burnett coming in, sitting in between both of his former horsemen. A lot of backstory here at the table, but Burnett couldn't quite come to play in this one and ended up being eliminated. Ben Bateman saving off elimination with 2 points as Burnett only had the 1 point. And of course, the Beast with another perfect round. Round 22, we had our first big surprise of the night. Mark Riley enters into the free-for-all, coming out of retirement, at least temporarily, and tried to make it work. Unfortunately, this was probably one of the most difficult rounds that we had. The highest score was Ben Bateman with 3 and Bibiani with 3. Irwin and Roca each get 2, and Riley could only get 1 question correct. A really unfortunate circumstance for Mark Riley. Just a very difficult round, and again, probably the most difficult round of the evening. Round 23 saw Sabina Graves come in at number 36. Sabina and Bibiani both getting a key question on the first one with the Harry Potter category. Led to a very exciting end to the round, but Roca couldn't get the Bryan Cranston question for the Disaster Artist, and he was eliminated with only 2 questions correct. Of course, Bibiani also with the perfect round here. Round 24, we had Vanessa Fitzsimmons coming in, the other half of Late to the Party. And again, an exciting end to this round, but she could not quite come up with the correct answers, but she did manage to take out Ben Bateman in the process, each of them being eliminated with 2 points, and Bibiani with back-to-back now perfect rounds. Bibiani showing that he came to play in this game. Round 25 saw Josh McCouga come in at number 38, and our another big surprise here. We heard the music. Finstock was back in this game. Very entertaining to see Finstock back. I mean, he's not necessarily the most likable person, but he is hilarious and exciting to watch. And a slight misplay by Sabina, not able to write San Andreas in time. She had the answer, just couldn't quite get the question in time, and thus she was eliminated in this round along with Finstock. Finstock's stay in this competition was short-lived. Round number 26, Dale the Dude coming in at number 40, and Hal Rudnick coming in at number 41. McCouga getting the first question on a crazy guess from him, getting the grid as the Tron answer, and thus was enough to get the 1-0 victory over Dale the Dude, and unfortunately eliminated in this round. Bibiani adding another perfect round, of course, to his record. And in round 27, RB3 made his debut, coming in at number 42. And again, another big pull by Josh McCouga on the first question, getting the dog in Christmas Vacation, the only one to get that one correct. And in the end of this one, Hal Rudnick was eliminated. Round 28 saw Emma Fife come in at number 43, but her stay was unfortunately short-lived, along with Josh McCouga, both those competitors being eliminated, and Bibiani again with another perfect round. Him and Ethan have been in there for quite a while at this point. Could they make it to the end? Round 29, we had the epic entrance from Brianne Chandler. I slightly liked Ellis's more, but again, a great entrance from Brianne. And at number 45, we had Jared Habon come into this game. Brianne, the only one to get this big question in the Star Wars category, getting the clones question correct, which led to a perfect round from Brianne Chandler. And with only 3 points, Jared Habon was eliminated from this round. Round number 30 saw Greg Alba just rush out into the thing, wanted to just play the competition. It was getting long, each one to answer the questions, and he did answer 3 of those correct, and that was enough to beat out RB3, only getting 2 questions correct. Perfect rounds from Ethan Irwin, Brianne Chandler, and William Bibiani, each of them with impressive rounds, and Brianne now with back-to-back perfect rounds. Round 31, we heard the Jaws music. Everyone thought it was Dan Murrell making his return, but that was not the case. Andrew Guy punked us all. He says he ends up killing Dan Murrell. We'll have to see if Dan Murrell's okay. I'm sure he is. But Andrew Guy's time in this competition was short-lived, only getting 2 questions correct and being eliminated as the rest of the competition scored 4 points each. And in our final round, we had Wendy Lee make her debut into the Schmoedown at number 48. Unfortunately, though, couldn't get any of the questions correct and led to an exciting end to this match, so let's listen in.
And with that,
that's it.
The winner of the 2000
That's it.
Miss Movie
Buffy the Vampire Slayer has just slayed the table. Oh my god.
So there you have it. Brianne Chandler ends up winning the free-for-all and ends up actually answering the 5th and final question as well correct, thus making her have 3 perfect rounds and only missing 1 question in this game. Bibiani lasted the most rounds with 21 rounds, so he earned himself a number 1 contender shot. But the big story here, Brianne Chandler winning the free-for-all. She can again do anything she wants with this victory. Lend it to a friend, leave it for herself to go up against any title match. We'll have to see what she does in the future. So looking at the amount of rounds lasted, William Bibiani coming in with the lead again with 21 rounds. Ethan Irwin with 15. Drew McWeeny and Lon Harris both tie at both lasting 11 rounds. At number 5, we had Frank Moran lasting 8. At number 6, we had Ben Bateman, Whitney Seibold, and Sean Gerber each tying with 6. At number 9, we had Mark Andreyko with 5 rounds lasted, and tying for number 10 is John Roca, RB3, Brianne Chandler, Josh McCouga, and Ken Knapsack, each with lasting 4 rounds. As for the amount of perfect rounds, well, Bibiani again, he led this one by a wide margin. 9 perfect rounds for the Beast. Coming in second was Brianne Chandler, Mark Andreyko, Ethan Irwin, and Lon Harris, each with 3 perfect rounds. Coming in at 6 was Drew McWeeny with 2 perfect rounds, and then tying for 7th is Rachel Cushing, Sam Levine, Frank Moran, and Whitney Seibold, each with 1 perfect round. As for total amount of points scored, Will Bibiani led this one with 87. Ethan Irwin coming in second with 57. In third place was Drew McWeeny with 42. Lon Harris coming in fourth with 41. Frank Moran at 5th with 24. Coming in 6th with Mark Andreyko and Whitney Seibold with 22. Coming in 8th, Brianne Chandler with 19. In 9th place was Ben Bateman with 18 points scored, and at number 10 was Sean Gerber. And for question percentage, we had Brianne Chandler leading the way with 19 out of 20 correct, 495. In second place, Mark Andreyko with 22 out of 25 for 88%. In third place, we had the Beast coming in with 87 out of 104, the most questions asked by far for 83.6%. Rachel Cushing, Mark Ellis, Haley Fouch, and Kalinowski each tying at number 4 with 80%. Rachel and Mark Ellis, of course, if you want to tie break it, they each got 8 out of 10, so more questions asked, more room for error, so they would cap the lead. Haley Fouch and Kalinowski each with 4 to 5 correct. Ethan Irwin in 8th place with 57 out of 74 for 77%. Drew McWeeny and Sam Levine above the line, both tying at number 9, with Drew McWeeny hitting 42 out of 56 for 75%, and Sam Levine hitting 12 for 16 for 75%. In 11th, Lon Harris with 41 out of 56% for 73.2. In 12th, Whitney Seibold with 22 out of 31 correct for 70.9%. And in 13th, Matt Ashedy with 7 out of 10 for 70%. I could go with more, but I'll stick it with the 70% and up range, just showing the amount of questions hit by all these competitors is very, very impressive. So again, a big congrats to Ms. Movies, Brianne Chandler, winning the free-for-all. We'll see what she does with the winnings A very impressive match, only missing one question on the two guns question there. So we'll have to see again what she does with that. And of course, in the post-credit scene, we get to see that she confronted Thad Williams and said, basically, got to sign this thing. Thad didn't read all the fine print, and looks like Dagnino will be the commissioner for 1 week if we get to 2,200 Patreons on Patreon. So we'll have to see if that happens. And of course, there's probably more in that contract that we just don't know about quite yet. So that'll be very interesting to find out when we do so. And of course, Bibiani's got that #1 contender spot. So we'll have to see what happens there. A big thank you and just everyone that put on this free-for-all, Christian Harloff and company, everyone at Collider. It was a worthwhile and very impressive outing to watch and very entertaining. I was off work late and ended up staying until 4 a.m. watching this whole thing. So again, just kudos to all you guys for putting this on and just creating this great entertainment. So thank you for that. But that's not all for this show. We still have the preview of next week to get to, and also our player, misplay, and play of the week. So let's get into that. So coming up on Tuesday, we got two new teams debuting. First off is the Scream Queens. Not too sure who's going to be in that team. There's rumors potentially of Perry Nemiroff. We'll have to wait and see what is involved with the Scream Queens. They're going up against the Garden Hosers, most likely comprised of Matt Black and Thomas Ian Nicholas. We'll have to see what happens with that match. Of course, two new coming teams, so it could be anyone's game. Again, they're not 100% set in stone of what these teams are, but it looks like it will be those teams based on conversations on the Facebook group. And then on Friday, we got Ben Bateman taking on Mark Andraco. Should be an entertaining match. Mark Andraco is a beast. He showed it in the free-for-all this week. And Ben Bateman looking for a little bit of redemption. He wants to get back in that top contender spot. We'll have to see if Ben Bateman can do that with the talent that he does have. So now for our play of the week, and that has to be Miss Movies hitting the 3 perfect rounds to end up getting her the victory for this week in the free-for-all. Again, 1 question miss for 95% in the 4 rounds. Who knows how far she could have gone had this thing lasted even longer. Again, a very impressive outing from Miss Movies, and just showing that she is a strong competitor in this league, making her, of course, her return into action for the free-for-all. As for our misplay of the week, that's actually going to go from the team match, because there could have been potential options in the free-for-all, but the one that stands out and probably the most pivotal was Trek in round number 2 of their match. The 2-point steal, giving that up to World's Finest, and of course, their rushed question on question 5 that Scott knew. So again, just those key moments, again, could have been the deciding factor in the win or loss for Team Trek. But our player of the week, although Miss Movies won the whole match, has to be the Beast Bibiani. The amount he lasted with 21 rounds, and then of course the 9 perfect rounds, was very impressive. Hitting 87 out of 104 questions for 83.6%. It may not be the highest percentage, but he had the most room for error, and he showed why he is the beast. We'll see if he can carry this over into future matches and maybe get that round 3 hump beaten to hopefully get some more victories in the win column. So that does it for this big episode of Schmoedown Central. A lot longer than probably the previous ones, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys watched the whole thing all start to finish. And again, just remember to like this video, subscribe to my channel for more videos of Schmoedown Central each week. Thank you again, everyone at Collider, for putting this on. It's been a fantastic free-for-all, and I can't wait to see what happens going forward, potentially at the Collider Collision, and just the whole thing as a whole, all together. I'm excited. Again, follow me on Twitter at 94BradThomas or at SchmoedownCent for the whole Schmoedown Central Twitter. And again, just thank you all for watching. Let me know your comments and your thoughts on some of your big moments. What stands out to you? Some other maybe smaller moments that I didn't touch on in the comment section below. And that is it. And until next time on Schmoedown Central, I will talk to you guys all later.